Buses. Who doesn't love a good bus ride? I don't. I hate buses. Hey everyone, it's Candy Crush, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my experiences on the public bus. So sadly, I am not luxurious or do not have mountains of money to have a car or have my mom drive me to school. And the way that my school kind of works is that you have to pick your high school, which I don't think that's a common thing for people to do. And in picking your high school, you are obligated to get to your high school, whether it's driving, walking, whatever. So I lived at least 2 miles away from my house, and I still do. But thanks to virtual learning now, I don't have to get on the bus. The bus caused me a great deal of anxiety. But anyways, okay, so the first story I want to tell is how I got lost. I get lost a lot on the bus. It seems like I never have a sense of direction. But if you know me personally, you know that when I get lost, I get very, I start crying and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit dramatic, maybe it's not. But basically, I was on the bus, and where I live near a hospital that's like mountains away from me. That hospital is John Hopkins, and then my home is near Bayview John Hopkins. So the way I get on the bus is I wake up super early and get on like the first bus, which is quite a walk, but I take it anyway because I don't want to be late. I've been late many times. But when the buses come to my stop, it's like their first stop, so they don't really turn on their sign. So I'm sitting there on the bus, and after a while, I noticed people who I never really saw get on the bus. And normally on school days, there's some sort of pattern. So I was a bit confused. So it continues, and I realized that I looked out the window. I don't know where I am. So I turn around to the lady next to me, and I ask, what bus is this? And she says blue. I don't know what the blue bus is. I don't know where I'm going. So immediately I get off and I look around, and it's a pretty shady place, but it looks professional enough. So I cross the street, and then it starts raining. And I get completely soaked, and I have to get on the bus straight back home so I can restart. And I was late to school. But that was just the normal for me. Another fun bus thing is this one woman tried to talk to me. Now, I'm not really the most sociable person when it comes to talking to strangers because I have really bad social anxiety. So anyone talking to me who I don't know, I will be anxious, but I'll still be polite. So basically, this woman was on the bus, and me and my friend were sitting next to each other. And she got on the bus, then she started talking about Jesus. I'm Christian, so this wasn't anything new for me, but I knew that other people may have been uncomfortable in that situation because not everyone likes to talk about religion, or that's not everyone's favorite subject, and B, it was very random and probably not the best time. So she looks at me and she's like, "Are you Christian?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she turns to my friend and she's like, "Oh, well, are you Christian?" And he's like, "Yeah." No, he wasn't. He was Catholic. But he lied for the sake of her not talking to us. And she started preaching to us, and I was just in there just nodding my head like any person would do. Then she sees another teenager, and he was sitting by the window. He was chilling, and she turned around to him, and she was like, "Are you Christian? Do you believe in God?" And he's like, "No, I don't believe in God. And she's like, why not? Which was pretty passive aggressive. And even I felt bad for him because, honestly, you shouldn't be in other people's business when it comes to that sort of stuff. You don't know them personally enough to even try to have them to have a connection. But he said, like, oh, too many stuff happened in my life. And she's like, you're a child. How could that be? Ma'am, I appreciate her, doing whatever she does. But at the same time, people can have a hard life too at a young age. And she was like, how could this be? Like, this doesn't make sense. And he was just like, I don't know. And I ended up apologizing on her behalf to him. Even though I didn't know him, I felt like, he probably needs an apology. And that woman would come on every day and just kind of harass people like that. I didn't say anything to her because I'm honestly scared of her. But, she did what she did. Another funny bus story is another one where, so it was a half day, and basically during half days we would get out at near like 11 o'clock. So I'm out, and I stood there for hours in the freaking rain because the buses were full. And then we had to get like a Lyft driver, so I called my mom, and basically it was sorry, I had a yawn. Basically it was so cold and wet the time I got into the Lyft driver's thing. I was soaking wet. It was horrifying. So on a lighter note, my neighborhood and a couple other neighborhoods I have to walk through are known to have like a lot of stray cats. So sometimes before I get on the bus, I would like greet on the stray cats, give them names, and basically feed them. You could say I'm a crazy cat lady, but honestly, it's not crazy if you love them. That's my motto. Oh, right. So another thing that happened was one time the bus broke down, so I had to walk to school, and it was about like a mile maybe. I was a little bit anxious, but I used my phone as a GPS and like kept my head down, and I made it, surprisingly. I didn't tell my parents this, so parents, if you're watching, I'm so sorry that you have to hear this. Yeah, I think that's all the bus stories I have. If I can remember correctly, though, the bus would take at least like an hour to get there on a good day. But coming home is the real struggle because there's more people getting on the bus, because it would be like 11 or something. And the buses were really jam-packed too. Like, if you got on a bus that had a lot of people, you weren't guaranteed a seat, so you would either have to stand or like stand in the front next to the bus driver. And it wasn't like a yellow cheese bus or school bus either. It was more like a regular school bus. Another thing.
So then, why?
I gotta yawn. Another thing is that I sometimes fall asleep on the bus out of just tired and exhaustion. And if I ever fell asleep on the bus, I would assure myself that I had a friend who would tell me to get off, because we lived pretty close to each other, like 2 doors down. So if I ever fell asleep, I want them to wake me up, but sometimes they don't wake me up and they just leave me hanging, which is so mean. But you know, that's my friend for you. I think that's all the stories I have. So now here's a good part. Now here comes for the channel update. So this channel's been dead for a hot minute, for like a hot couple minutes, 1,000 minutes, couple months, and I've been losing a lot of footage on here, so it's been kind of, frustrating for me. But I have some stuff planned, and I have some YouTube videos planned for you guys. I don't want to say anything yet about what they would be, but basically they're gonna be good, I promise. I'm going to try and stick to a schedule, but because of how hard things have been for me and school and stuff like that, I may or may not have a schedule, which is a little bit discouraging, but I'll try and get a schedule. I'll try and make things work. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Outro. Have a good day, and remember to like and subscribe. Every subscriber really counts on this channel. I love you guys very, very much, and bye.